In this video, I interview author and speaker Kimberly Bell. Kimberly is a working solo mom of 5 children, 4 of whom are adults. She's also the grandmother of 6 grandchildren. Hi, I'm J. Rosemary. I am the host of Solo Moms Talk podcast. I also help solo moms with tools and strategies to help them live a joy-filled life. If this video resonates with you, leave me a comment below. Also, please subscribe and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you'll know when I upload a new video. Thank you. My guest today is Kimberly Bell. Welcome, Kimberly.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to
Sure.
be with you.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure. And I usually just get into it and ask you to tell us, who is Kimberly?
Well, right now I am a single mom of 4 adult children, one minor that she's 6 years old.
Oh,
And I tell her that she's the one that's getting old. I'll be almost 50 soon, but she's 6 going on 60. But I have 6 grandchildren. I'm a case manager. I've been working for the state and doing case management for probably now close to 10 years. So I
Okay.
love what I do, navigating resources, helping participants, and just serving. I love being in the public and working in the community and diversity and different families. So I'm excited because since the COVID was lifted, all majority of my cases are from different nationalities. So I'm just like, wow, yes, because this is the first time I've ever went into different nationalities that Arabic and Russian, and so it's just been exciting to meet the family and to serve that population too. Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Cool. So, well, I'm gonna ask you something else, but you said COVID is over, but not where I am. What
Oh
happened?
yeah. Well, it's lifted here in Maryland for us to go and resume back visiting and stuff like that. So
Okay.
even down with our school system in Maryland now, it's optional for mask. Yeah. So when I don't mean it's over, but it's everything's trying to lift to get back to normal. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I don't
Okay.
think that'll ever happen, but
I know. It just seemed like it was gonna go on forever, right?
yes.
Okay. So, as you know, we serve the solo mom crowd, and I'm going to ask you. You said you have 4 children and 6 grandchildren. First of all, how did you become a solo mom?
4 adult children and one minor, so 5 altogether. Yeah.
Oh, 5. Oh,
5
wow.
altogether and 6 grandchildren. But
Mhm.
I became a solo mom for my last marriage about 4 years ago.
Okay.
And yeah. And even prior to that marriage, I had been a solo mom a couple of times, within my journey of life. So
Mhm.
it's definitely adjustment, definitely a transition, but I'd rather be a healthy solo mom, happy and well, and living a peaceful life that way that my daughter and my other children can see that, there is quality life being a single mom, and just as well as the quality of life being a not single mom. But it all has to do with choices that you make,
Yes.
to
Okay.
that that is the best for your life. So
Right. Right.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you for
hmm
sharing that. And what has been your biggest struggle, or what is even still your biggest struggle with raising your children alone?
Um, I would say, balancing, adjusting, finding that balance, knowing when to, because I work, even though I've been working from home for quite some time, um, just making sure that I have that balance and adjustment that
Mhm.
I give the quality time for her, the quality time for myself without her, spiritual time for myself, and making the adjustment that it's not anyone else's responsibility, but even with co-parenting that I have to balance, because I at times when co-parenting, you're still taking more than if the child is at home with you, more than the other responsibility for the other parent, like
Yeah.
extra curricular activities, like for just recently she's a swimmer, and she just was accepted in the swim club, so she's been swimming since she's 2 years old. But those um after school hours, after school care at YMCA, I have to make sure that, her swimsuit and her favorite towel is in there, the days that it is, picking up her, and tweaking the schedule, because I know those 2 days she's going to be tired, what to plan for dinner, making sure that we get in bed a little bit earlier. Is this going to be the tub night or the shower night, and stuff like that? So it is adjustment. And it's a
Yeah.
balance, and
Yeah.
we can't forget about ourselves along with this adjustment and balance. Nor can
Hmm.
we lack in her or the child needs and wants.
Right.
So yeah,
Right. Yeah. So even when there is a co-parent around, the fact remains that the responsibility, full weight of the responsibility is on the custodial parent, right?
right, right,
Yeah.
right, right, right. And you
Okay.
and what I tend to believe, and this is what works for me, is I connect with my spirituality with God, and ask him for strength and help and wisdom, and work in the season and the moment that I am in, not be as anxious and impulsive or in anxiety of, okay, this is so overwhelming, I have to have a partner, I have to have someone to team. No, but just live in that moment and find that
Hmm.
strength from God that you're able to do this. He can give
Yes.
you that
Yes.
balance. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So you minimize your struggle by depending on God to
That's
guide you,
right. That's
basically.
right. That's right.
All
Because
right.
there's a lot of times that, we as women, we want that super cape, and we want to do it. And trust me, I have to be mindful too. I'm not perfect. I'm human, and I might have to, out of 2, 3 nights, do KFC, McDonald's, oodles and noodles, or whatever. But that doesn't make me a bad mom. What it makes me is a conscious mom, that she's getting fed, and knowing
Mm.
that it's too late to do the 3-course meal, or I had to, that my job that day didn't help me work my schedule, where I couldn't put that roast on, or that chicken on, or that home cooked meal. But as
Right.
long as I get it in, when I can get it in, everything will be okay. Everything
Yeah.
doesn't have to have a quick fix. But if you
Yeah.
go with that moment, yes. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything doesn't have to be perfect, and we
Yes.
don't have to do it all, and we do
Right.
need help.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I agree. Okay. So I understand you wrote a book. What inspired you to write a book?
Whew, boy, I tell you. Well, just bits and pieces of my life. I've been just blessed since almost 49 years here on earth, that periodically during my working and career, and choices of jobs that I was able to obtain, that I would at times be able to share bits and pieces of my story, as far as when it was appropriate, when I was working with the youth, at-risk youth, to encourage them to stay in school, because they're going to need that education. I know, because I quit in 11th grade, and so on and so on. So when the COVID hit, prior to that, um, when people would know a little bit bits and pieces of my story, they said your life is almost like a book. You really need to get a book out. And so when COVID hit, it was like it was a phenomenon, but it was a voice that just got stronger and said, "This is now or never for you to put your whole journey and be able to inspire other people, because you did not go through that for just yourself." So that's what I did. So I started from the beginning of 5 years old, being with my biological mother and father up until I was 5, and then dropped off and never reunited with my mother and father, and the traumatic experience that I seen while I was living with my biological mother and father. And along with that, my sister, who was my shiro and still is my shiro, she was 2 years older than me, but she ended up staying with my mother. They had kids after me. But like I said, I never reunited with them. I had to deal with the rejection. I had to deal with the abandonment. I had to deal with them never coming back for me. So thinking for years, what was wrong with me? What was wrong with this child that you all brought into this world without my choice and never fought for, never reclaimed? So I had to deal with that with my adopted family. And I was really blessed to have older adopted family that taught me morals and values, and built the shelter of stability. And I never seen lights off. That I was blessed with that. I never seen the phones off. But also still things happen inside of that home that they didn't intentionally set up for it to happen, but happened. That is taboo to talk about, which was I was molested by one of their family members at 12, in their home. So I just put all of that in my memoir to inspire and let people know that things need to be accepted and embraced. First, you have to accept, your past and embrace your future, but be have your voice of your truth and let it be told. Because for years, like in that generation era, it was what was going on in home stayed in the home. Even when I was introduced to their church and their family and friends, I was told immediately that people were nosy, that if people came to me and asked me who was my mom and dad, because we were still in the same hometown where my biological family were, that I tell them that that's my mom and that's my dad. But here I'm 5, I knew the difference. I knew they wasn't. I never stayed a night with them, but that night that my dad dropped me off and said that he was going to come back and get me and never did. So I had to make sure that I like I said, during COVID, wrote it down and made sure that my truth, everything that I had went through in my journey was transparent. And was told to, like I said, inspire and encourage someone else that may feel guilty, feel shameful, feel like it was their fault, and still taking responsibility of somebody else's actions and behavior. And that's what sort of I did for years with my biological mom. I weighed the weight of her giving me away as that was my responsibility. That was, that was my fault. And it wasn't. That was her. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And what is the book called?
It's called The Epitome of Kimmy.
Okay. All right.
Accept and embrace it all.
Accept and embrace it all.
Yes.
All right. So I'll put a link to that in the show notes so people can have access to it. And so you have a story there regarding your past, and how has that all that you've experienced impacted your life, not just today, but also your decision making in your adult life?
Well, I tell you, one thing was that courageous move that I made me have hell of a courage now. I'm making right choices for me, not just for
Okay.
my children, but that courage that I can confidently choose without a shadow of a doubt, and incapable of choosing what's best for my life, and
Mm-hmm.
what I will accept and what I won't accept.
Okay.
Yes.
So it had a positive impact in that you were able to make better decisions. Is that what you
Yes.
said?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's a good thing
Yes,
because
it is. Hmm.
that's not what usually happens. We usually go the opposite way, right? Yeah.
And I learned to reinvest in myself, and that, we get into this microwave society that we want things what we want just like that, and I've learned after this book also that I have time. I ask God for patience, and what is for me, Lord, let it be for me. What is not for me, but I won't jump ahead and move. I'll just be patient and embrace where I'm at now. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. It's cool. All right. So, what is Kimberly grateful for today?
Oh my, I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for learned experiences. I'm grateful for my past because it truly helped bring the essence of who I am today,
Mm-hmm.
and allowing me to invest in myself and love myself and know that I'm deserving of investing in myself, to find my
Yeah.
self love, to find my
Yeah.
self worth. And once I love me, I can't help but attract someone that knows that I love me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I one of my favorite line is that if you love yourself, you will teach others how to love you.
Yes, yes, I love that. Yes, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. All right. So we talked about your book, and so do you offer a service other than your book? Do you offer any service
Yes,
to?
I'm finishing up my mentoring service, and I should be, before the year ends, my next book will be released in August, and some coaching classes. But
Mm,
I am finishing up mentoring service, and I am a public speaker. I will speak anywhere. So,
okay.
and I would travel anywhere. And I just love to be able to share my story just to help, someone
Right.
else. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have a website?
Yes. It's
Okay. You can tell us.
okay, it's www.kimberlyann with the EBELL.com.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And we'll put that in the show notes as well.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. What one piece of advice would you give to a solo mom? You're a solo mom who have your hands full, and but you have a lot of wisdom there. So give us some. Give us some.
Invest in yourself. You're so deserving too.
Hmm.
It will be the best gift that you could give yourself, is
Yes.
investing in yourself, and
Mm,
accept and embrace it all. Accept
yeah.
whatever you want for yourself, as long as it's the quality of life, for the best quality of life that you want, and
Hmm.
embrace it. Yes.
Hmm. I I love that. I really love that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And yeah, sure. And I hear a lot of hint of self-care in there. So do you practice self-care and what does that look like for you?
I do. I do. So, like I said, I try every morning, even in my travels. It doesn't have to be on my knees, but just like I to have the conversation with you, and I was telling one of my adult girls too. It's okay for Mama to pray for you, and I will. But you have to have that connection and that choice to choose to connect with
Mm-hmm.
your spiritual being. And so I communicate and I conversate with God every day, um, and ask for wisdom, guidance, or sometimes I just, just in a grateful mode, and just thanking
Yeah.
Him for things that has been done and will be done. And music, I listen to all types of music. So I travel with my music. I go to bed sometimes with my music, but music has been a peace of mind for me, a tool that I use, and I just let the playlist go from R&B to jazz to oldies and goodies to country. It's just that's just the way of my life that I found out that that's another positive tool that I use.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I have found with investing in myself that I like to travel. I like to go to different restaurants. I just like to, if there's something that I feel like that I haven't did and I want to do it, I put it on my bucket list. I have a visual board, so I find what works for me, and I'm
Yeah.
more hands on anyway. So I put things on, like I've never been to a wine tasting, but I do socially drink. So that's one on my bucket list that I'm going to complete this year, is I'm going to go to a wine tasting because I've never been, so I've set up, my support system, and this is what I found myself, reinvesting in myself and helping my self-care. I also, look at my body as my adopted dad have poured his wisdom in me. He only had a third grade education. I talk about him in my book because he was my pretty much first love and my protector. But he used to say to me, Kimmy, and that's how I got the Kimmy, on the epitome of Kimmy. He named me that. He used to call me that. He said, Kimmy, he said, listen to this, listen to Daddy Bill. I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to only repeat it about 2 times, but I want you to get it before the third time. He said, if you don't take care of your body won't take care of you. So I drink water. I try to drink it. I try to eat as healthy as I can. I have my little snacks. I have my little cheat time and stuff like that. But I do invest also in taking care of my body. And what I've learned also through the 4 divorces and the marriages, and I have all that in the book, and finding myself and finding my self-care, is that as strongly as I feel about my physical body, now I'm getting it, and I strongly feel that way about my spirituality and
Yeah.
my mentality. So
Okay.
I try to protect that with all costs by keeping trying to refrain from negativity, any drama. If I find that I'm getting sucked into chaotic or stuff that I can control, that I have to remove myself, that's not good for my state of mind, I do that. So
Yeah.
and I've learned people have to get to those choices to make. And this is a
Mm-hmm.
conscious choice that I made, that I found out that if I don't make it, I can't leave this to make it from nobody else for me.
Right.
I have
Yes.
to make this for myself. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very true. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Kimberly Bell, for coming and talking to me today.
Thank you
That is
for having
where,
me.
yeah, for sure. That's where I can end the interview.
Mhm.
But listening to you, I find a lot of similarities between us. And I have one more question for you.
Okay.
And we can air it or not, because maybe I want it for my own personal as well.
Mhm.
So my mom left me at 9 months old with my grandfather. My grandfather died when I was 12.
Mhm.
I didn't meet my mother till I was almost 15,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Um, I was married and divorced 3 times.
Similar.
Uh-huh. So I realized at the end of the 4th marriage that I was looking for something that these men couldn't give me,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Family, because I never
Right.
had family,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
Did you find that's what happened with well, I should also say that because I was a Christian, I didn't want to shack up or,
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
But did you find that, have you thought about, your marriage is not working out, and thought that maybe it was something like that for you too? You were looking for something that they didn't have to offer you?
Yes. Like you said, the one particular two was, which is similar, was to doing things that was expected, which was getting married. You don't shack,
Mm-hmm.
regardless. Um, and you don't live with anyone. So that was one. But also going into deeper, like you said, I found that validation, and me being the type of person of being abandoned and being rejected, I was looking for that connection through the men that I married and the fight for me, fight and you know, and it was failed many
Yeah.
times because
Yeah.
of I was looking in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
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 So I can relate, and I can tell you that if there would ever be a next one, because only God knows that the that void would not be explored to be filled, because I'm going to be
Right.
totally healed from that. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I
Yeah.
am too. I was just like, when the ended and I started to reflect and I'm like, first of all, I said, what is wrong with me?
Yeah.
My dad didn't want me. My
Hmm.
granddad died and I know he died, but I just felt like he abandoned me.
Hmm.
My mom didn't really want me. And I'm like, these men didn't want me. So I'm like,
Hmm.
what's wrong with me?
Hmm.
And then it was like a voice said, there's nothing wrong with you,
Hmm.
but you looking for the wrong thing,
Hmm.
you know, and I found it in God.
Right.
Was I would me wanting to marry and build my own nest
Right.
I was gonna show them I could have my own family. You might not want me, but I could be my own.
Right.
But that poor guy didn't have a clue what he was getting into.
That.
So, yeah, I mean, when you reflect, you can't really blame them because they can't fulfill the
No,
need that
they
you
just
have.
can't. They're not even capable. They're
No,
not even
and they
capable.
might be looking for
Right.
some too,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
You can't provide. So
Right.
yeah, as you were telling your story, I'm like, man, this girl, she's just talking about me right there. Yeah.
It's
All
crazy
right.
how God just brings different people into, yeah, and into
Yeah.
your journey to say
Yeah.
get that mirror. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're not by
Let's,
yourself. So we're all on a mission.
of
And God
course.
is good. God is
Yeah.
good. God is good
That
for
is.
us to be able to relate and share those experiences, because look at us now. We're still
Mhm.
here moving
Mhm.
and knowing that he has so much more in store for us, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of that healing comes, for me anyway, was when I realized God is my father.
Hmm.
So what my earthly father didn't want me.
Right.
God is my father and
Yeah.
he's sovereign.
Yeah.
And once I realized that, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm
We don't,
something
yeah.
special.
Yeah. We don't need, yes, we don't need another father. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
So,
and, and, and our husband and whoever would be in our life can't fill that void of our father,
well, no.
but a king worthy for us, that
Yes.
we're deserving of. And that's where
Yeah.
I'm at. Yeah, God has the king already for us. That's just
Hmm.
not a father, but a king.
For the king.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, love it. Love it.
yeah.
Love it. Yeah. I appreciate you being open and honest with me because this is a good discussion that I'm sure we're not the only one who are here or
Yeah,
have been there.
yeah.
Les Brown like to say that our stories are similar. It's just the details are different, but even some of the details are similar. So,
Right. In our case.
yeah,
Right, right.
sure. Yeah.
Well, I
Thank
thank you
you.
so much that you have this platform, because
Yeah.
kudos to you, because without the platform, I wouldn't even be able to do it. So thank you for being obedient and having this platform. And anytime you want me to come on, just let me know. It'd be a pleasure and an honor, because like you said, we all need to be more transparent and genuine
Yeah.
and authentic to help make a change. And
Yes.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. You're welcome. And thank you for coming and talking to me today.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah, sure.
Anytime.
Yeah.